Hi, my name's Christy and this is Lazy Owl's booktube channel. Today I'm going to be doing Finish the Book tag, and thank you to Freya who tagged me in this particular booktube tag. As always, if you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and if you'd like to be notified of when I post videos, please click on the bell icon. So let's jump right into it and we'll do this tag. So the first question is, do you keep a list of the books you have read? Yes, so I keep my list of read books on Goodreads. So basically, obviously I'll tag it finished through Goodreads, and I also use Goodreads to track the unread books that I have on my shelves, and I put that under a tag called Mount TBR and use that to kind of track what I've got sitting there that I haven't read yet, and that helps me decide what to read next as well. If you record stats, what stats do you record? I don't tend to record stat. The only thing that I maybe do is the Goodreads challenge and put in a goal as to how many books I'll read during the year, but I don't really place too much importance on it. For me, the importance of reading is enjoying and just enjoying the experience of reading. I'm not too fussed that I have to read so many particular books. For me, it's my love of reading, and it doesn't matter how many books I read. I read a lot of comics and I read some really big books and really small books. So the number of books read doesn't really mean too much. I think it's a bit of an arbitrary count for me. Do you give star ratings for books, and if so, what do you score books out of and how do you come about this score? So I just use the Goodreads scoring system, which is a scoring out of 5 stars, and I don't give a lot of books the 5-star rating. It's really got to impress me. It's really got to be something that I absolutely love and I cannot put down, something that stays with me long after I've read the book. So I don't tend to give too many 5 stars. 4 stars on the other hand, I'll probably give quite a few more ratings of 4 stars. They're books that I do really enjoy, and maybe they're not quite there yet as a 5-star rating. A book that maybe I couldn't put down, I really enjoyed, but maybe something was lacking. So I'll try and give a lot of books that I do quite enjoy that 4-star rating. 3-star ratings I will give to books that, yeah, I enjoyed it. I probably didn't enjoy it. It didn't wow me for a 4-star rating, and I'm not going to give it a 2-star because I still felt that it was a pretty good book and that it was worth reading, that it was worth my time. 2-star ratings would be a book that I would struggle to read, struggle to keep reading, and sometimes I've finished it perhaps because it's a book club book and therefore I'm going to push myself to read it. It might be a book that has parts of it that I enjoy, but then other parts that are a real struggle, and I drag myself to kind of finish those sections, or it might then pick up later, but it's really lacking. And a 1-star reading is probably something that I didn't finish or that I wish I didn't finish. And I don't give a lot of books a 1-star rating. There's not really that many that I would give that low that I think are awful. So I like to give books a go, particularly in the fantasy and even the sci-fi genre. Sometimes a lot of those books take a while to get into because there's a bit of world building to begin with. So I do tend to persevere with books, and I find that there are quite a few books that will pick up later, and I'm glad that I've invested a bit of time and gotten into it, because it's well worth it. So yeah, there's probably not a lot of books that I've given a 1-star rating, but they've really got to disappoint me to give it that 1-star rating. Okay, so do I review books? Yes, definitely. Sometimes I don't review books straight away because I find it difficult to get my thoughts together straight away, particularly if I've only just finished reading it. And so sometimes I'll just star rate a book without a detailed review, and then other times I've got a lot to say and I want to put that into words, and I want to kind of put it together in terms of what I thought of the book. And I have done a couple of book reviews on my channel, so hopefully people are enjoying those. I'm maybe not as eloquent as some other booktubers out there, but I have a bit of a no-nonsense way of reviewing books, and I try not to give away any spoilers. I try and keep it very generic and not go into do too much detail, because if you do come along and want to read those books, even if I didn't enjoy it perhaps, there are some minor things that can spoil it for some people, and so I try and kind of keep the details to a minimum and just provide a kind of generic thought of whether I enjoyed it, and maybe a broad description of what the book was about. Where do I put my finished books? So I put them back in my shelves. I have a family, so I have a husband and 2 children, and we all love reading. So I will quite often put them in the shelves, and if I've enjoyed it, I will straight away go to someone in my family and say, you need to read this. This was really, really good. So I don't like to get rid of books, because obviously there is many of us in the household that it could be enjoyed by somebody else in the household. In saying that, I do lend out books, which has burnt me a little bit in the past because I haven't had books returned. I had a favourite series, there was 7 books in the series, and I lent them to someone who at the time I didn't know that great, but she seemed like she was into the same books as me, and so I lent her the first 2 books in this series that I absolutely love, and I never got them back, and they don't print them anymore. They're very hard books to get, and so I'm always on the lookout for these 2 books because they're my favourites, and geez, I hope I can find those first 2 books somewhere, because yeah, that's so frustrating. If there's anyone else out there that's had that experience, I'd like to, I'm sure there is, I'm sure I'm not the only one. How do I pick my next book? So as I said before, I have a Mount TBR tag on my Goodreads, and so sometimes I'll go through that to see, okay, what do I have on my shelves, what do I want to read, but vastly the way that I choose is just by how I'm feeling. Like if I've read a really massive epic fantasy series that has like 10 books, then I might want something with less commitment. I might want something that's only 1 or 2 book series, or just a singular book, so I try and break it up with whatever I'm kind of feeling like reading at the time. I do challenges every now and then, but I'm notoriously unreliable in terms of following through with them. I'm supposed to be doing this book spin tag on a community group called Litzy, and I'm supposed to finish 2 different books in March, which I haven't read either of them, and I don't think that's going to happen, but good intentions, so yeah. Okay, do I have any other rituals for when I've finished a book? I do like my tags in terms of describing what the book's about, and so I use a lot of tags on Goodreads. So I might have a witch tag or a magic tag or a fantasy tag or a space travel tag, so many different tags, and then later on that kind of helps me to remember what the book's about if I'm trying to find some books to recommend friends or family. So that's pretty much what I do. I don't really have any other rituals that I can think of, except for if I've really enjoyed it, I will kind of bang on about it with my family to try and get one of them to read it, particularly if I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed. And if anyone else would like to do this tag, please feel free. Thank you, Freya, for tagging me. Lastly, I would like to tag the nerdy narrative. If you'd like to do this tag, please feel free. If you've already done it, no problems. I really enjoyed the nerdy narratives videos, so hopefully head on over to her if you want to check her out. She's a newer, smaller booktuber who I'm really enjoying at the moment. And thank you very much to anyone who's watched this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and thanks once again for watching.